Hey guys, so I'm back for another one, and what I've decided to do is, because my other three-speed transmission um, video was so popular, I thought maybe I would put a shifter together for you from scratch. And maybe it might help somebody who's trying to adjust one, set one up, or even install one. So what I have here today, well, here, let's take a look at the shifter first. So this is a Mr. Gasket shifter. It's a three-speed shifter. There's your part number, 7667A. You can still find these on eBay and whatnot. This is a new one. We'll get into all of that after. Now, I've never installed one on one of these short tail shaft deals before. I'm not even 100% sure it'll work. If it doesn't, we'll just keep going because I think you'll get the gist of what's going on. We just may run into a problem with the actual mounting of it back here. But the big thing is here, and then setting up the shifter, and we'll get into that. This transmission itself, you can see, is the early style. I think they ran this up till 67 or 68, where the bell housing actually mounted. On this particular transmission, it's a GM unit. You can tell that by the 4 bolts. Saginaw or a Muncie will have 7 on the side shifter. The side plate here, shifter plate, whatever they call it. And then because this is so short, I can tell you for sure that this does not have synchro for first gear. So it's not really a desirable transmission. That said, put 3-speed shifter on it. Some people think it's better, some people don't. If you happen to have the 3 in the tree, I have a video that shows you how to set that shifter up too, because they have a tendency to get loose and jam and so on and so forth. So if you're doing this to replace that because you're jamming, go check that video out and do yourself a favor, because you can probably fix what you got. These shifters are getting tougher and tougher to find. Anyway, I think we're going to get right into this. So let me grab some tools. I'll open that up and we'll get going. So if you manage to get your hands on one of these shifter kits, the tools you'll need to install it are a 1/2 inch, a 9/16, and a 5/8. Now this might be important to you if you're laying underneath the truck. So the 5/8, that's this guy. Those 3 bolts, they're all 5/8. Oh, sorry. These 3 bolts, they're all 5/8. Your 9/16, that's those bolts that attach up and across. And then your 1/2 inch, that's going to be these guys here. This will all make more sense pretty soon. So hang tight and let's get this thing on here. So this thing's going to come with this assembly. See it here. This guy's going to bolt on. We'll walk through all that. So there's that guy. Instructions. Some bolts down here. We'll need that stuff for sure. We've got a series of different rods. I'll show you why afterwards. And then we got that bracket's super important. Actually, all these brackets are super important. These guys are important. What do you figure that's all about? I might have to read those instructions. I don't know what. Okay, so where this guy mounts is right up here. So what I'm gonna do is I'll pop this guy off. This is what's called the stiffener brace. Maybe I'll just turn this so you guys can see it better. So the stiffener brace goes across here to over here. Again, you don't really want to, I'll install this, but I won't really hog it too tight. Get that bracket in there. Next, we're going to take this bracket here. It kind of looks like an L with a kick out. So it's an L with a kick out. We're going to put this guy down here. This guy's going to go up in behind here. So we can bring this up and over and bolt that in when the time comes. So I just want to snug that, not so tight that I can't move it. I just want to locate it. It does have other adapters if you want to bring it out further, blah, 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 but we don't. This one works for our application. Up top, I'm not so sure. They do have an adapter. I feel like I might be able to just... Okay. So we're going to want a washer on here through that guy. We're going to want a lock washer on the other side. And a washer. So that's what we're going to do on the other side, just like that, then like that. We'll see if we can't marry these two. Just back this off a bit. You know, part of the problem is this is made to fit 14 different transmissions. So it doesn't seem to fit anything perfectly. All of them require a little bit of forcing, if you will. But it does work out pretty good in the end, depending what you're looking for. Okay, so now that we have everything kind of loosely tied in, I want to start tightening up these brackets here. So I think I'm gonna start down here. And I do like this assembly pulled out this way. It just gives our linkage a straighter run to it, if you know what I mean. So there's this guy. There's that guy. I can really feel the tension on there. I'm going to tighten up this bolt. I'm going to tighten up this last guy up here. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to decide what goes where. So we got to get some brackets up here, and depending on what you got for coming off of here, we'll decide what you're going to use for brackets. So on a Muncie, you typically have that style there, and you put them on. Your shifters hook up and away you go. They have these multi-use ones you get for all the different styles. We're not going to use either of those. Oh, let's get this on here. So this guy goes on just like that. And these kits, you know, at one time were really cheap. Now they're getting harder to find. So if you find one new in the box, like I got there from my buddy Brett Green, who's just a beauty, helped me out with that. Apparently he had bought it when we had a sale up here a million years ago, and I think they were selling them for like $10 a piece or something. And he happened to buy one, and it sat in his garage. I bought a few of them, and they sat in my garage. I used up some parts on them and threw a bunch of it away, or threw the whole thing away. I don't even remember. I try, and every once in a while I'll kind of ask out there if anyone's got any, and I'll buy them up and use them if I can. And guys ask me for them from time to time, and if I got them, I'll help them out. But currently, this is the only new one anyway that I have. I'm really not that keen on getting rid of it, so it'll probably live here with me. After this video, I'll take it apart and put it back in the box, and I don't know if I'll find a home for it or not. I don't currently have anything for it, so we'll see. I mean, I guess I have this transmission, but I don't think I'll be using this transmission for anything either, other than this video. So if you're local and you need a 3-speed transmission and you're looking for a good deal, let me know, so I'll help you out. And don't worry, I know they're not worth much. Okay, so that's that. Next up, we have our rods. So I know already I don't need these long ones. The short ones are, in fact, this short one doesn't even have a bend in it. So these will be my short ones, and they're both too long. But let's pop her open anyway. So this is my shortest one. And we're going to slip that guy in there. I'll get that guy out there. Whatever works the best. And in this case, that's going to work the best for me. I think so. I almost want to flip that around. You know that? I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to flip that guy around on this one. We'll try it anyway. I think our last transmission might have been a Muncie. I don't know. I could go back and look and seem a lot smarter than I really am, but I'm not going to. You ever watch the videos on YouTube and the guys are just like perfect, never drop anything and nail it every time? Yeah, that's not me. All right, so I don't think I got the room, do I? Oh yeah, that's money right there. Okay. So let's take a look at what else we got in here for hardware. So we got these goofy looking clips. Those are 100% for those neutral right now. It is still in neutral, right? Yeah. So there's neutral. We kind of want to find neutral with this shifter. I'm not going to nail it right off the hop, but we'll get her close. Somewhere around there, I'd say. How do we like that for a neutral? like that. I like that. Okay. So now we need to do the same thing on this guy with this longer shifter. Now the problem with this longer shifter is it's way too long. You know, we would 100% want to cut that. I think I'm going to flip this one around too. I could have sworn the other one I left the other way, but I don't know. I guess that's why we're doing this. The instructions, in case you're wondering, are absolute garbage. They are almost no help. But if you're doing this on your back, under the truck, I'm hoping a video like this will help you, because I know it would help me. So there we go. So same deal with this guy here. I think I'll come to the outside again. And you can kind of see where I want to be. I want to be way back here. So let me grab my trusty little dude here and stick that on there. A mile to go, eh? Wow. This is the second shortest one. But keep in mind, this is a very short tail shaft. This is the shortest you can get with a 3-speed. So, and this is a generic 3-speed shifter deal too. So, kind of goes hand in hand that this is so long. Because if I was going to leave it on here, I mean, there's nothing saying I can't just literally leave it on there. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to line these two up. So this thing still has quite a ways to go. We're getting close. I think we're close enough to call it. Okay, so I'm going to throw that guy in there. And I'm going to throw this guy in here, knowing that I'm probably going to have to yank these guys out again. That's okay. And I'm going to throw this guy back in here. If you look at these clips, you can see that one kicks out. So that kick out one is when you stick in the hole and it presses this against it nice and tight-ish. It's not going anywhere. Okay, so this here is, these bolts here have two purposes. You can move this assembly forward. You can move this entire assembly back. So you can move it to this hole, and there's another hole in here. So you can take this whole thing and move it back. You can take this whole thing and move it forward. So overall, it gives you about 2 inches forward and back. And then it also gives you some leeway this way as well. Because we're not actually putting this in anything, I'll just leave it where it is. But just know, if you go to put it in your truck or car or whatever, you do have some, where it lays is not where it lays. You do have 2 inches of movement. A lot of guys will just install these right out of the box, and then it's up against their seat. You look when they're going into first and third gear, and it's like, why don't you move that forward? Get it off your seat. But, you know, you don't know what you don't know. And for me, that's a lot. There's a lot, I don't know. So if you are putting it in, just keep that in mind. Don't, you don't have to have this up against your seat if you don't want it. And why would you? All right, it's starting to look like a shifter, eh? Okay. Let me get you guys set up a little better so you can see what's going on down here. So now we're getting into the real important stuff. See this piece in here? This guy right there? That is the pivot off of the shifter. And that alone is why you're farting around at the intersection trying to find neutral. Or trying to get it out of first and into second. And so what happens is these aren't lined up together. So you have to fart around to get it over. So if it's not lined up, you have to fart around. And these are not quite lined up right now. That should, but we're not far off either. See that? I don't know, can you guys see that in there? It catches on this, right on here, and then it comes through. So this one needs to go back just a bit. So I will pop this off. I think I'll take it back 2 rotations, and we'll see how that works for us. Might be too much. There. Get back in, take a look. You'll see with me. That's pretty good. Seems to be a little bit of rub here on the bottom, but nothing major. Let me move you back so you can see what's going on here better. So when I can do that with one finger now. See that? So when I bring it this way and up, I am in reverse. When I bring it down, I am in first. When I bring it up into neutral, it should pop over. See that? So let me try that again. So there's reverse. I'm pulling it this way. There's first. When I come up, it should slip over by itself into second, like into the second, third neutral spot. And then if I go up again, we got a problem here. Oh yeah, big time problem. What's going on? Who's in charge? Feels good. All right, let's check her out. So I'm gonna pull it to the left and forward. That'll be my reverse. And then I'll pull it straight back down, will be my first. Bring it up, over, second, and then straight down is third. Again to second, down and across first, and then straight up would be reverse. Maybe we can get that a little bit better. I don't know, like it's good. I think we're there. But it did jam up there. Why? So if this isn't in neutral, so there's my neutral. That might be transmission related. But while we're here, what we can do is we can set up these stops. So these guys aren't going too far. There we go. And then same thing with the front one as well. Say it needs the full cycle of it almost. Just bring it in until it touches. Then you would bring your lock nut in and then tighten it up. You bring it up here and see what's going on. So you can see inside here, all I did was run this bolt in until it touches and then bring my lock nut down. And same thing on the back side. And that's really about it. So there you go. There's second and third. There's first and reverse. Second and third. Now, a big debate people always have is, do you grease these? Do you oil them? I don't. You hit dirt roads, you hit sand, you hit dust. Oil, grease, that's just it's gonna attract it and hold it. I wouldn't. You can do what you want, and I'm sure you will. My advice, if you're here for my advice, is leave it like this, because this is pretty damn good as is. Another question people have is, shouldn't there be like a thrust washer or a washer of some sort on here? Well, they don't come with them. They don't call them out. And to be honest with you, it seems to work quite well without it. Wouldn't you agree? Like, I don't know why you would want that. We could move these down here for a shorter throw. I don't mind them up there though. I guess it really depends on what kind of vehicle you're putting it in. But the higher out you go, the longer the throw, of course, as this is extended. And the shorter you go, the shorter the throw. You could, if you are one of the guys who want to use the bottom ones, and you can clear everything, because sometimes you don't clear back here. And you can clear everything, you can really clean this up by just cutting off the top part, grinding it down, blah, blah, blah. But that's pretty much it for this guy. If you weren't as lucky and didn't get a new shifter like I did, thanks again, Brett. I do have a used shifter. And I'm gonna make another video taking you through how we can make that work as well. All right, so hang tight. We'll do that next.